welcome back to Pancakes and Pandemonium. For those of you that are new here or coming over from the collab, I am Sarah and I do all kinds of videos. If it is mom life, housewife-ish, family related, we are in it. We are Pancakes and Pandemonium because I have 5 kids. 3 are on the autism spectrum, and it is just a roller coaster around here. But it's a fun roller coaster. I was invited to this collab by Tamra from Southern Life, Everyday Life. She is hosting this collab. So I will put her channel in the description box along with the playlist. So this is a super fun one for me because it's actually not something I do very often. This is a cookbook collab, and you guys, with some YouTube love, my recipe tonight is coming from Chapin and her brand new cookbook. You guys, when she says Essential Pantry Cookbook, I keep almost all these things in my pantry. I have been able to go through and easily put together dinners, and I'm going to tell you something, I do not typically follow recipes. I tend to put my own spin on them. So I was excited for a collab that would kind of challenge me, and I pulled out, I have a ton of cookbooks, you guys. I'm a cookbook collector, but for those of you that are new here, I live with my in-laws, and we don't know how temporary or permanent it's going to be with housing prices and everything. And my mother-in-law just passed away, and so, you know, it's inappropriate to try to take over any extra space when everybody kind of needs this house to be consistent and have her memories. So this I ordered recently. It launched on May 4th, and I gotta tell you, when she announced at pre-sale they were available, I jumped over to Amazon. Like, I paused her video and jumped over to Amazon because, one, I love her. I have been following her for quite a while. I love her. I love her vibe. I love everything about her. She's an amazing cook. Her recipes always look amazing. So like I said, I paused the video, jumped over, pre-ordered because I love her, and because for a new author, pre-orders are huge, huge for them. So I, love her and respect her, and so I know that that's an important thing. So got the book. But tonight, for this cookbook collab, we are going to follow her instructions. The only substitute I am making is the cayenne. I apparently don't have cayenne in my cupboards, which I don't use it a ton, and black pepper is kind of as spicy as my in-laws get, so I shouldn't have been surprised it wasn't in here. But for people that know me in my channel, I've talked about these a lot, so we went through and we picked this one. We thought that would be a good substitute for cayenne, so it's still not hard to do. So come hang out with me and let's make some of Chapin's. Okay, so we had some whisk problems. We're gonna start with the sauce. We're gonna go in order with the cookbook. So we're gonna melt the butter in there. By the way, life hack, one of my really good friends, Marilyn, told me if you buy like the dollar store or just the cheapy wire whisk, I know you can find these at Walmart and Target too, but she buys these and squeezes them for a skinny whisk for roux. Pretty brilliant. And I do have a Pampered Chef skinny whisk, but what's the mantra? It's in storage. So this is what I use. It's a simple garlic shortcut. It is tuum, which is a Mediterranean garlic paste. It's lemon. It is mostly garlic with a little bit of lemon juice and sea salt. Super easy, delicious, great shortcut. She calls for 1 clove of garlic, so if you have it, use that. This is amazing. Or just, you know, the squeezy garlic, equal to a teaspoon, but it's not that huge of a deal. I didn't measure. Garlic is one of those things that you should measure with your heart. 2 tablespoons of flour. Oh no, Gracie, grab me a tablespoon, love. I am using this cup for cup gluten-free flour because I am currently gluten-free. I'm on low FODMAP, and I know some of you are gonna look at this recipe and be like, low FODMAP means no garlic or onion. Listen, I'm giving up a lot of things right now. I cannot bring myself to give up garlic and onion. It just feels cruel. If I'm still having trouble when I've eliminated everything else, I will wrap my brain around it, but literally that is the building blocks to everything delicious. And yeah. All right, so then we add the chicken stock. Whisk flour for 2 minutes. Add the vegetables. I'll let this just thicken a little bit. Oh, let's do this. I'm gonna turn the phone off. You guys don't want to hear it. So this roux is hard at work. Okay, next we're gonna add 6 tablespoons of tomato paste. So I'm gonna tell y'all a story about this. I just had that tablespoon. Where'd I put it?
It's in the flour.
Right. So when it comes to enchilada sauce, I have a very strong bias against tomato-based enchilada sauces. I am extremely partial to, I guess it's New Mexican style. I'm gonna use this whole can. I think that's gonna be all of it. It says 6 tablespoons, so I'm hoping that's a whole can. I'm praying that's a whole can. But when I did the second one, we were at a little more than half. So yeah, that was seeming like the right thing. Oh, see, I was patient and it thickened up. Yay. Okay, so I have this big bias. I am a serious fan of red chili, and my understanding is even in Mexican food restaurants, it's generally not a tomato base. Okay, salt, cumin, and cayenne. Okay. All right, guys, this got like hot fast and it's bubbling. It like popped at me, so, and it is thick. So we're gonna take this off the heat and see if it'll play nice while I get the other ingredients in here. The cayenne calls for a fourth of a teaspoon, so I think a couple good pinches. I let Gracie pick the chili for this substitution, and she is a fan of the dark and smoky mix, so that's what we're using. 3/4 of a teaspoon of cumin. So we're gonna do that. That's about 3/4 of a teaspoon. And we're gonna do a teaspoon of salt, which should be a pretty good pinch. So like I was saying, New Mexican, Mexico style, which is a red chili. They are made from just chili peppers and like oil and garlic and stuff. So when I saw this, I was like, It's a tomato base, but I trust that it's going to be delicious, and I'm excited to try these. Doesn't taste like enchilada sauce to me, but it's going to be delicious. Like, these are not going to be sad enchiladas, so we're going to be all right. In Jen's recipe, so, okay, I guess I'm not following it exactly. Sorry, Jen. I told you I can't help it. It's a sickness. She lists onion as like a topping. I grew up eating enchiladas with the red sauce, and my mom would sprinkle the onion, and she wouldn't even cook it with the beef. She would sprinkle it in as she rolled them. I always really love that flavor. So I think I'm gonna save half this onion because I know not many of my kids will like that, but I'm gonna make about half the pan with diced onion in it because it's just that good. All right, but let's start the ground beef. Let me clean up my mess on the stove and then start the ground beef. For this part of the recipe, if you come look in the book, it goes from the sauce to making the enchiladas, but over here it has the protein options. And so I am making ground beef. It is 80-20 because, as you see, I picked it up on clearance. So I will have to drain some of the fat. And she doesn't have cooking instructions, so my assumption is, based on my knowledge of cooking and watching her, you can either just cook it up and leave it, but she probably intends for you to know to salt and pepper it, which is what I'm gonna do. So, but like I said, the onion's gonna go on half of them raw. So I'm gonna get this browned up and drained and then be back. Okay, this is the part in the meat. Well, one, I'm gonna season it around here. I get as much of the fat out as I can. One, because ground beef fat is just me. I'm not really afraid of healthy fats, but this isn't one of them. And two, the meat kind of quits browning with this much fat in there, and it kind of like starts cooking in its own fat, like stewing almost. And nobody wants that, you guys. So I get, you know, a reasonable amount out. I'm using a metal bowl, and then, you know, we'll scrape it out once it solidifies and dispose of it properly. But listen, see, that sizzle comes back. You're gonna get some color on that beef. This is also the part where I want to season it. Okay, I'm gonna let this finish browning up, and then we'll be back and we are gonna assemble these enchiladas. It's gonna be so good. Okay, Jen says preheat the oven to 400 degrees, casserole dish, and grease with butter. I was actually supposed to do that at the beginning, but it's fine. It's fine. We all know I have problems with rules. I have never done this step. I usually just spray cooking spray. So I'm excited to see kind of what the butter does, you know. Okay, so now we're gonna come down here and we're gonna pour a 1/4 cup into the bottom of the casserole dish and spread it. You wanna grab me a measuring? She says to put everything in a bowl and stir in a 1/2 cup of the enchilada sauce. I'm just gonna leave everything in my pan, and I just went ahead and threw the onion in. Just easier that way. The only person who's really gonna have trouble with it probably wouldn't eat it anyway without it, So I also just realized I used 2 pounds of meat versus, she probably just meant like a pound. I'm gonna have a little bit extra sauce, but I still think I'm gonna have enough to cover it and it'll be fine. She probably just meant to use a pound. I wasn't even thinking about that. We got these out last night for Taco Tuesday. And then didn't use them because everybody wanted dessert for dinner. And I was just clear out of energy. So I had gone to lay down and Dad was like, yeah, that's fine with me. So that's how that went. So I'm gonna spread that around. All right, that looks good. So we're gonna leave that in there. So next, we're gonna microwave the tortillas until they're warm and pliable. And I'm gonna place a 1/4 cup of filling in each tortilla and roll to seal. So these are good. I also forgot the instructions called for 1/2 cup of cheese. So, I mean, honestly, I just threw in a handful. And then you do a 1/4 cup. And you roll them up and place them in the dish. It is easy, and guys, I took a bite of this filling and it is so freaking good. Okay, so I could probably fit some down there. That's what my mom used to do to get a dozen in a casserole dish, but I'm not really gonna eat it, and I know the littles will only do half, so I think that will be plenty of food for everybody. So I am gonna take the rest of this sauce, which as it sits, guys, like doing it first and letting it sit, it smells so unbelievably good. I am curious because those of you that have been around here for a while, you know I have a picky eater. So while most of us like the red chili, he really doesn't. He's usually fine if I do a cheese sauce or a verde sauce that isn't super spicy. But if I do red sauce, he won't eat it. And this is a really good balanced flavor. So I'm expecting it to be a hit. And guys, look, because I used 2 pounds, I have a ton of meat left over. I use the Siete, like dippable chips, and so I can make really easy nachos out of it. So I didn't worry about messing with a gluten-free tortilla over here. I think it'll be fine. I'll refrigerate or freeze the rest of that. I'm gonna put a healthy dose of cheese on top. It's got tons of cheese, and that's what matters. So we're gonna cover the dish and bake it for 20 minutes. And we're gonna let it cool for 5 or 10 minutes, and then everyone's gonna eat, you guys. And I can't wait to see what they think about this. Tell me what's up.
It's so cheesy. Yes.
Should we dish it up and try some?
Yes.
Alrighty. I got this recipe out of a cookbook, and it's not my usual enchilada sauce. So I want to hear what you think.
P.S. You guys, I'm on one fast spices, so
it shouldn't be spicy.
So chow down. Oh wow, that's good.
Yeah? Alrighty. Should we start fixing plates? I want to hear what you think, especially with the different sauce. What do you think, bud? Are those good?
Yep.
Did you try some yet?
So you like it, Gracie?
What did you think, Kim?
Dion likes it.
Okay, alright, just tell me, do you like the enchiladas?
Yes.
What do you think, Mace? Do you like that sauce a little better than the one I used to make?
Give me that. Give me that.
How do we feel about that?
It's not
No? Okay. Don't feel bad, Jen. That's 99% of his dinner reactions.
Come on, Jen. I'm sure when he's older, he will like this.
They're so good, right?
DR
Are you guys happy with these?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely make again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys, that enchilada recipe was a hit. Oh my gosh. Jen did not fail me. My kids love that sauce. I actually think they prefer that sauce. It didn't seem to matter at all that it's different than what they were used to. They were excited for enchiladas and they loved it. Except for Mason, but if you're new here, Mason doesn't like much of anything dinner related, so... And I knew it would be a little extra hit and miss because Grandpa bought pizza after school today. So they had this kind of like weird dinner-ish snack, you know? So yeah, Mason's difficult. Mason's my picky eater. Getting him to sit down for dinner is hard. So we're always super shocked if Mason loves something. But the other four, you guys, they loved it. My husband really liked it. He was out when we did the taste test. So when he came in, he grabbed it and he really, really liked it. So, and my father-in-law, his stomach was bothering him tonight. So he didn't really want to venture out that way. So yeah, I'm super excited. For those of you that are new here, thank you for coming over. Thanks for hanging out with me. Please, please, please subscribe to my channel and come back because we're going to be doing lots of fun stuff and there is going to be tons of dinners and recipes, some in collabs, some just because that's what I love to do. And for those of you that have been around a while, thanks for coming back. I hope you are enjoying these collabs and some of the new stuff we're doing and trying. But as always, you guys, like this video, and like I said before, subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell because we're gonna be up to lots of things this summer and you don't want to miss it. And hopefully one of the things we're up to is me having a lot more energy. I've got some patches and some things we're trying, so hopefully we are getting there. But I can't wait, and I can't wait to hang out with y'all some more. So I'll see you soon. Bye.